let's go on to the next subject. That is the band Coroner. Folks, is there any band out there more criminally underrated than these guys? If you've never listened to Coroner, if you've never listened to an album like Mental Vortex or No More Color, I have to say Tommy Vetterli is probably one of the greatest guitar players I have ever heard. When I think of bands on Noise Records, everybody thinks of Creator, everybody thinks of Halloween or Gravedigger or Rage or Celtic Frost. They think of these bands for the most part. One of the bands people seem to forget about is the band Coroner. Now, for me, I thought that they were one of the most unique bands, not only back then, but now. First couple albums, not bad, but when No More Color came out, when Mental Vortex came out, those are two game-changing albums. Basically very progressive thrash metal that you just don't hear every day. I mean, I can't even think of any bands that sound like them. But folks, they were the real deal, and they still are. Now, I know Coroner is making an album and recording an album. I know there have been interviews out there talking about that. But man, I get to see them live. They're coming to my neck of the woods. They're coming to Cleveland. I'm really excited for that. It's a small club. But man, coming to Cleveland, getting to see Coroner is like it's like a bucket list band I've never been able to see, right? I know they had I had their old drummer on the show. This had to be, man, it was a long time ago, 2011, maybe, somewhere around there, when they first kind of got back together and started playing shows again. But just my thoughts with the band Coroner. Mental Vortex is in my top 50 albums of all time. That is how good that album is. No More Color isn't far behind. I don't have it in the top 50, but it's definitely another really phenomenal album. But those two albums. Now, they had an album called Grin. That was the last real full-length album. That had some pretty cool stuff on it. And the one thing about Coroner that's unique, none of their albums sounded the same. The first album definitely didn't sound like the second one, and No More Color didn't sound like anything they've done. Mental Vortex didn't sound like anything they had ever done, and the album Grin was just drastically different from anything they had done. It was a very sad day for the metal world when they didn't put any actual full-length albums out after that. I mean, they had a compilation, but I just want to make sure all of you know I'm extremely excited for Coroner to come to the USA. Hey everybody, Tony here from the Metal Command podcast. Again, I appreciate your support. Since 1998, I have hosted this show in one form or another, starting off in radio and now in the podcast format. Again, thanks for watching, and if you like what you see and hear on this show, by all means, please hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to be notified anytime I do post a video, and if you see this program on any other form of social media, please give me a follow there. Again, I always appreciate your support.